Hello and welcome to Megawatt, where each week we give you the lowdown on the latest piece of kit from the world of technology and gadgets. This week it's all about Samsung and their new i8510 model, which promises an 8 megapixel camera phone in a small device. Is it lucky number 8 for Samsung? Stay tuned to find out. So what do you get for your money? Well, you get the handset, clearly, and here it is. You get 16 gigs worth of onboard memory. There's an 8 megapixel camera on the front, which is the first commercially available in the UK. It's a slider design, so you get a nice, easy to use keypad. There's music player, picture viewer, games, lots of applications. On a connection front, you get HSDPA, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, so you've got fast internet access. There's GPS in there to save you getting lost. And overall, it's not too bad, although it is a tiny bit on the large side. The Samsung i8510 is a gloss black handset, quite large, about a bar of soap sort of large, and it runs the Symbian S60 3rd edition software. Now, when we started looking at this, we couldn't help feel that we'd seen it all before somewhere. And it wasn't until someone else said to us, "Have you seen the Nokia N95 8 gig model?" that we suddenly went, aha, yes we have. So, there's the Nokia, there's the Samsung i8510. They're very similar in their design. Now, we're not saying that all phones can't be black, all phones can't be glossy, all phones can't be sliders, and all phones can't have a similar look and feel. But it's certainly something to bear in mind if you're looking to get away from Nokia, but not too far away from Nokia. With HSDPA 7.2 megabits per second internet connectivity and the Wi-Fi added as well, surfing the internet on the i8510 is child's play. It's very simple. All you have to do is go to the web, press the button, and you can start looking at web feeds and other things. You can then go directly to a web page and type the BBC. Connects in. Now we're connecting on Orange for this over their 3G service. As you can see, the page loads really quickly. Now, where the i8510 wins out even further is that it's taken the same technology that's used in the i900 Omnia handset and turned the D-pad into a touch sensor trackpad. So if we select on here, you can then actually scroll around the screen with your thumb, and it makes surfing the pages incredibly quick. Beyond the web, there's Google applications already pre-installed on the phone. So you've got Gmail access, you've got Maps, you've got Search. And in addition to that, because it's an S60 device, you've also got a number of applications such as Shozu or anything else you want to have a look at when you're on the go. Remember this? The HTC Diamond, all very exciting touchscreen to battle the iPhone. Well, guess what? It's spawned a brother. It looks like the same handset, doesn't it really? That's because it sort of is. This is the HTC Touch Pro, the successor, if you want to call it a better word, that sports a funky slide-out keyboard. Now, against the two, you can see it is considerably fatter. It's like twice the thickness, and that's because of that keyboard, basically. But it's not only the keyboard that offers you difference to the thing. Hidden underneath the shell, we can get this thing off, it's now added a micro SD slot, perhaps believing that business users aren't savvy enough to have 4 gig of internal memory as in this, and so you get micro SD to expand it. Personally, we think it's a great addition because now I can go beyond 4 gig. I can go up to 8 gig, for example. Woohoo, very exciting. The addition of the keyboard certainly makes it a lot easier to input text, and it was one of the big concerns we had with the HTC Diamond is that you have to use your finger. And whilst the touchscreen is probably the best we've seen other than the iPhone, it certainly is still a bit fiddly at times. You also get an improved interface for when the keyboard has switched out. It's probably suggesting the sort of things that HTC believe you'll be using when it comes to using the keyboard. So you get tasks, you get notes, you get friends. Obviously, there's still the same funky touchscreen interface flowing through the menus. So if you don't want to use the keyboard, you don't have to. And overall, the keyboard is nice to use, although because of this curved back, I don't know if you can see that, it's sort of quite ridgy. It wobbles if you put it on a flat surface, which, to be honest, is a bit of a pain. Overall, it's good. It's not as good as the HTC Diamond, purely because although we like the keyboard, just that size is pretty thick for a handset of today. So one of the cool features of the i8510 is that it has DivX support included in the box. So we're on the bus, that's a great place to watch video, so we're going to try and access and watch the video. So you go menu, go media, got Real Player built in as standard, some video clips. Now we've got Transformers because hey, that's cool. So we press play, we rotate it around, and you can watch it straight from. Now the screen's pretty clear, it's pretty big. The speaker's not that great to be honest, but you know, you get headphones so that's a lot easier. And it's certainly able to watch maybe a trashy movie. I wouldn't watch sort of War and Peace on it or something really heavy like Dr. Strangelove. But for Transformers and silly things like that, it sounds pretty cool. Now the big unique selling point for the 8510 from Samsung is that it comes with an 8 megapixel camera. Yes, you heard me right, 8 megapixel. Bonkers, more perhaps than your digital camera sitting at home. But is it any good? That's the real question. Now, we're going to take some pictures. We come down to the Angel shopping centre to snap this beautiful sculpture. Apologies for the weather. Typical England. We've been hoping for a fun sunny day for ages and it's not going to happen. So probably even good chance to test it under drab conditions to see how it performs. So what you have to do is, now there's a dedicated shutter button here, which if you hold down long enough, it opens up the lens cover. That's the only way of opening up the lens cover. And then you can actually just then point it around. Now there are zoom functions, and there's flash options. So I'm going to say no flash because it's pointless. There's a timer option, for example. You can zoom back. And there's a zoom, unfortunately, is the volume down here, which is quite confusing to use. And then we can zoom in. So we're going to snap a picture. And there you have it. Now, after you've got that, you can have a number of options. So you can use the image as a backdrop. You can send the details via Bluetooth. You get blink control, so it basically means that you can't take a picture of people blinking. You also get smile control, so you can only take pictures of people if they want to smile. And there's a number of other features that you can also use to edit pictures in the camera, rotate pictures, crop them, etc., etc. Does the extra 3 megapixels over the 5 megapixel options from Sony Ericsson and Nokia make a difference? Not really. I mean, over a 2 megapixel, like the iPhone's 2 megapixel, or a 3 megapixel, yes, you certainly notice a difference, and it certainly gives you more room to crop into those images to get rid of those stray dudes in the back of the pub, which you thought, where the hell do they come from? But as a competition against an 8 megapixel compact camera, it's not there yet. So what do we think of the Samsung i8510? Well, first off, it's a big phone. This isn't something you're going to be able to slip in your top pocket or girls want to put in your Lulu Guinness handbag. It's big. I mean, we're talking Nokia big, which is perhaps why that Nokia N95 reference, because of the OS, because of the styling, and because of everything else. On a spec front, it's pretty much got everything you'd ever possibly want to imagine. There's fast internet access, there's Wi-Fi, there's GPS, there's Bluetooth, there's music player, there's DivX support, there's DLNA support, there's 16 gig in the box, there's an easy to use keyboard. You know, I can't think of any other technology actually I'd really probably want in this device, let alone whether it's got it or not, which it clearly has. But obviously the price to pay is that it is a large device. From a camera point of view, that 8 megapixels, well, to be honest, you don't really notice a benefit over a 5 megapixel camera that's already out there. Yes, you will see a benefit over 2 megapixels, and yes, there are lots of features, including anti-blink and red eye reduction and smile mode and stuff that make this a better camera perhaps than most, but certainly you're not going to benefit from the extra 3 megapixels because of the sensor isn't that big. What we do find interesting though is that when you suddenly get a phone that has everything, and we mean everything, the price you have to pay is the size. And it's pretty big when it comes down to it. And we have to keep on saying that because it is. It's not light, it's not small. So overall, do we like the Samsung i8510? I think it's one of those phones that, as we said, does everything. But for us, I don't know, there's something missing. And I'm not 100% sure of what it is. Well, that's it for this week. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Why don't you tune in next time for more news, reviews, tips, tricks, opinions, and much more. I'm Stuart Miles. This is Megawatt TV. Thanks for watching.